Hi, I'm Alden.
And I'm Calden.
You remember us from Good Twin, Bad Twin, right?
And we're here today because we want to ask you to do something for us. We want you to imagine. Imagine for just one moment that your child was missing, and just missing for just a second, just for a second. And I know you may say that could never happen to me, but just imagine, okay? Imagine that rush hour traffic. You got your to-do list and you've scratched those items off the to-do list, and you're going through your normal day, the hustle and bustle, but this is at afternoon time. Well, you're trying to beat traffic, but it's a little thick. You took the back road like you normally do because you're trying to avoid, you know how you got your little shortcut so you can at least get to the school to pick up the little one before anybody leaves the school. You get to school and you realize that everybody is gone. You sit back in the car and for that split second, wonder, where is she? What happened? Just as you realize, or you get a phone call, your daughter, son says to you, don't forget to pick me up from sister so-and-so's house or over to my cousin's house because remember I had soccer practice. And you go, now in that brief moment, imagine how you felt. Imagine what you felt like when you could not remember and didn't have any idea where your child was. Now I want you to imagine that feeling all day, every day.
We're at the law office of Sanford and Knott, the attorney for Gregg and Myra Lewis, Erica Lewis, the parents of Myra Lewis. We're asking for your help.
We're asking you to help us find Myra. Help us find Myra Lewis.
Stay tuned. We're going to have a conversation with the parents of Myra Lewis.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Alden.
And I'm Calden.
And we're Good Twin, Bad Twin. We're here with Gregg and Erica Lewis.
Well, let's just go ahead and get into it. Well, we've had, of course, several conversations before, okay? So I want you guys to just think back like we did when we were having those conversations, okay? All right. Because obviously we're here today with one purpose in mind, just helping to get the word out about Myra, okay?
Yeah.
But I want to get started with helping people to understand who you are.
Before you ask your first question, we want to say thank you again because you know all the time you've allowed us to spend with you guys. It's been
Thank you, guys.
awesome.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. Well, I'm going to start with you, Greg. Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you go to high school?
Canton High School.
Canton High School, okay.
Yes.
What did you do at Canton, as a matter of fact? What your claim to fame, so to speak, at Canton? What was it?
We know you don't like to talk about it, but
Well, not much to tell. You know, I was an outstanding athlete, known throughout the city, and did a lot of charity work, things like that, and just really just dealt with a lot of my elders. I just basically stayed around a lot of elders when I was younger. So.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: when you graduated, if I'm understanding correctly, you went off to college, right?
Yes.
Okay. What college did you attend first of all?
Valley State University.
Right. That's right.
And they transferred me to Coleman Community College.
Okay.
and I did 3 years at Oklahoma, and then I left there and went to University of Memphis.
Okay, and you during the time you got a degree, correct?
I have my bachelor's degree in science, and from the University of Memphis.
Okay. One of the things, the reason, go ahead. I'm
How
sorry.
many colleges recruited you?
Oh, between 6 and 12. You narrow down to the ones that were really serious. It was about 8.
Okay. Now, if you wonder why we brought this up, of course, we're not speaking to a gentleman that is unlearned, okay, or a family that's not unlearned. Gentleman has a degree in criminal justice, correct?
Yes.
Current degree in criminal justice, okay. So it's to be said because
Everyday family.
right, it's an everyday family and went to school. Okay. Speaking of everyday family, how long have you guys been together?
Erica.
12 years.
12 years. 12 years. That's right. And as a matter of fact, you guys have been married. I mean, been together 12 years. And married how long?
9.
Been married 9 years. That's right. So you guys was dating for about 3 years.
Right.
That's right. That's right. So that's right. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to bring that out because there again, we're not talking about a situation where, you know, we have a loving, long history of a loving relationship we're talking about here. Now, I'm gonna speak to you because, you know, when we first met, I told you that we heard about
We
some
heard
different
about some,
things.
yeah.
Because one of the misrepresentations, misnomers, one of the misconceptions I would say
Right.
about you guys is that there should have been a stepfather that was in the place.
Right.
Okay, so we wanted to clear some of that up. Okay,
Yeah,
we wanted to clear some of that up because they've been happily married for 12 years.
It's 9
9
years.
years.
Nine
I'm sorry,
years.
been together
9 years.
12
9 years, but been knowing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I want to also ask you, okay, Erica. You spoke about roles in the
That
family.
was awesome. Yeah,
And roles in the family, okay? And I don't know, I thought it was awesome. Like my brother was saying, put it mildly, I just thought it was awesome. Will you tell us what you said you thought your role was in this family?
Being as one, as husband and wife, and raising our children the way they should be.
You made a key phrase that I wrote it down and it
Mhm.
just stuck with me. When you talked about, I trust, you remember saying,
Mhm.
what did you say? You said, I learned to, you said, I had time. I couldn't be mad because I learned to trust in God.
I learned to trust in the Lord. Knowing who He are and what He can do for you, that what kept me strong and believe in my husband. You know, he's the one. He's the one that really kept my mind.
Like I said, I wrote that down. The reason I
Uh-huh.
wrote it down is because we saw your chemistry, and we saw the realness behind that. That's why I wanted to bring it out.
I want to point out that something, just for the cameras, I want to make sure that everybody understands that they did not want to do this. As you can see, we're in the law office of
Sanford and Nod, yeah.
and obviously, for obvious reasons, the lawyer didn't even want to be on it. The purpose of this is to help get the word out about Myra. This family is torn apart, and this is difficult for them. So we actually respect the fact that they actually even came about. So for anybody that looks at this and says that this is some kind of glory, chase, or for some kind of vainglory, that's not the case. The case is so we can bring it back to the forefront. We want to bring it back to the forefront of your mind, that it will be a priority for you. So when you're out in the mall, whether or not you're at the store, wherever you are, you will there's just one moment to look around to see if you can recognize what Myra is, so we can find what Myra is. That's the point of this, okay? Yes, some of these questions we are prompting because we want to make sure that they're comfortable in this whole setting, to make sure that we get out when we need to get out. Okay. One of the things I was going to ask, since I'm glad we kind of brought up when you said about why not blame. Okay, I got to go back and ask. Knowing the situation like we knew the situation was, why would there be guns in the house, Greg?
Because I'm a hunter. I mean, I've been hunting since I was 6 years old, and I'm also a gun collector.
What kind of
What
guns?
kind of
were-
guns?
were we
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah.
These are your typical hunting rifles and shotguns. There was no assault weapons or pistols or anything. It was just
No pistols at all.
no pistols, no assault weapons. Just your everyday common shotguns and hunting rifles. That was it.
You brought up a point about not only are you a hunter, you make your own.
I make my own ammunition.
Make your own
Yes.
ammunition. So it's you've been doing it. You and your father.
Yeah, me and my dad been doing this for years. I mean,
So
Again, we're talking to a normal family, okay? except for almost nowadays you can't even say normal because we have a married couple that's been together 12 years,
yeah.
a lovely family together,
Yeah.
and mom stays at home to provide for the house because that's what they choose to do. That's what the family wants it to be. That's a choice. He works, and Erica, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you made a statement. You said, "Hey, listen, I wanted him to be asleep when he's asleep because when he's away,
Yeah.
he's not away." So that's the choice they make. So we're talking 12 years, college graduate.
Right.
We're talking a hard-working man, that. So this is not a family that's a bunch of criminals.
Right.
That's not what's going on. And if you notice, there are questions that we cannot ask Erica. So if you're wondering why we're not focusing a lot of attention on Erica, there's obvious reasons, but we did want to point out a lot of these misconceptions. If you're wondering, if you're following with us, some of the questions are geared to erase misconceptions. So if you have the remote thought at home that I don't want to help because of these situations, that's why we're asking these questions.
Okay. You mentioned, I thought another thing was cool while we were at the house. You had a young lady with you. She was one of your, is it niece? Was it? She was
My niece.
you said she was there for you to do
Her hair.
because that's one of your.
That's what I do.
That's what you do. You said
When I have time,
you
that's
have
what I
time,
do.
That's what you do. I thought that was cool because you have. I mean, it's not like you talked about. We're talking regular. You have ambitions, and you provide for the house, and when you can't, you know the kids in the neighborhood. You're a businesswoman. I mean, it's not like
Right.
we're talking about everyday people. I thought that was cool. You kept getting up to check on the children. This is not like Cal said. This is everyday family. It's not. I just thought that was so awesome. Yeah, you just kept getting up, checking on the children.
Right.
Give me a second. Let me,
Greg, I did also want to ask you because we talked about that there was a stepfather
Right.
that's somewhere out there that the child got picked up from the front of the house by another gentleman, supposedly that was in the picture. Greg, explain to us why that can't be true.
There's no way possible that could be true. Like I said, my wife's a stay-at-home mother. I mean, I work, and her time is strictly devoted to. I mean, she has absolutely no free time. I mean, for herself, and I mean, there's things that I try to do, when I'm home to free up time so she can do some things for herself. Because, I mean, when I'm at work, I'm working sometimes 14, 15, 16, 20 hours a day. So she's at home with the kids. So there's, even when the other kids are at school, there's little ones that she has to tend to all the time. So there's, no free play in there, for her. And then if she's not even at home, she's at my dad's house. She doesn't like to stay at home by herself. Like my dad's house is 1/10 of a mile from ours, so they'll just walk to my dad's house. They'll be there all day until I come home.
I'm glad you brought that up because I want you to describe the setting in terms of the distance between. You said how far is your
1/10 of a mile.
1/10 of a mile. Okay, and this is in a city area.
No, it's in a rural area.
It's a rural area.
Yes.
Okay.
What or Erica? What you talk about that path? Go out the fence, take a left to the.
Okay, when you walk out of our house, you walk down our driveway. How long is that driveway?
I would say 70 yards.
You walk out. You have to go out the gate to go through the path. So when you walk out the gate, you make a left. When you make a left, you go on beside another gate. You walk how far to get inside that gate?
That's 10 yards.
Okay, and you go into the gate. You turn to your right. You go straight. That's Granddaddy house right there.
So they never got a typical day of one of the children. Naraya is out there, and Naraya, she would never go to the street.
Oh.
No.
She does this all
Our
the
yard
time.
is just,
No,
our
because
house
see,
is
you
that
got-
far away from the
you have-
street to
you
where they
have
don't
at
have to go
least-
to the street.
You have at least 10 yards from the fence to the road. That, that's clear, and then you got to kind of go up a hill. Once you go down that little slope, you got to go up a hill to actually get to the road. So they just always just like going down that slope and then take that left and then go up. That's the way they always did it.
So how close is the nearest neighbor?
My next neighbor, which would have been, I'd say about 200 yards down the road. It wasn't that far. I mean, it was just 200 yards down the road.
Okay. All right. To put it in perspective, in a regular basic urban setting, you can almost literally throw a rock out the window, and touch the next door neighbor.
Oh, to my dad's house, definitely.
Okay, but outside of your father's house, your dad's house, and your house, the next neighbor is 200 yards out.
Yes.
In a fenced-in area is what we're talking
Right,
about.
right.
Okay.
In the
So-
country.
In the country.
Country.
Okay.
See, they have trees and stuff in between our house and our father-in-law and my father-in-law's house. So if you cut the trees down, you can see our house, his house.
Yeah.
That's how close we are. But by the trees and stuff being in between our house, you have to walk out to the gate and stand and look to your left, and you'll see.
Now, during your fall of the year months, when the leaves are off the trees,
You can see.
you
Yeah.
see straight through it.
Okay. Now, one of the reasons why I brought that point up, I'm going to tell you why I asked that question, is because, again, another misconception is that why would the children be in the yard playing unsupervised? And I'm saying to you that, and I would tell you, I had to be totally honest with you, because I told you this when we talked,
Right.
that I have a 2-year-old son. Excuse me, I'm sorry, and forgive me, 3-year-old son, and this changed how I do things at my grandmother's house. We live in a rural area as well. And what we do is time the door open on the car can't even stop moving before he jumps out of the car and he takes off and run. And so
And
we
they're
have
out
all the
there
kids in the
till they-
yard
till they
playing,
smell like
and
outside.
you know, and the rule is you can't come inside unless it's time to eat or time to go to bed anyway.
Your water
You
cup
know,
with your name
they-
on it on the counter.
So so this is in a rural area, and so my aunt's house is here. We have several aunts that this you can see across the pond, and see you guys are not even talking about pond. We got a pond out there, and we still just let them out and play. It all I could see was that was me.
Right.
If that was me. Because you can't say that it wasn't being supervised, because this is a fenced-in rural area that you feel like you want your child to grow up in to have free reign.
That's why you moved.
That's why you moved to the country in the first place, so that you can let your child play. So I bring up the point because I want anybody that's sitting at home saying, well, they should have been watching the children more carefully, to make sure you understand what you're speaking of.
Yeah.
Because this is not a family that's under the economic base or under educated, that doesn't have an idea about family. 12 years, and they understand family care. That's what we're talking about here. So if you had the idea that I didn't want to help because it was a reason, because they just didn't watch the children, that's what happened. I'm saying I want you to imagine, put yourself in the shoes for a second, because I'm saying to you, it could have been you.
Even if that was true, which is not, it still could have been you, and we're still asking for your help.
Okay.
But tell us a little bit about some of the organizations that have stepped up to help.
Barbara Hastings, she started a page for Myra called Myra Lewis Help Find Me. And I want to say she said it had like 11,000 people following her. So, and she's found this other man that does missing people called Find Me Too, I think that's what it was. And he's supposed to be taking over the case. I haven't heard anything from him, but I'm just waiting on him before I say anything else about that
We
situation.
won't talk much about that. I just wanted to bring up the fact that we are getting a lot of.
Barbara Hastings, I want to mention her name because she helped us a lot. She kept us on the loop of what was going on and what she was doing. She come out last month.
Yes.
And
This is the first time we ever met
to
her.
Canton, and we did a pink ribbon hanging and hanging her flies around the Canton area square. She helped us out a lot.